Hi, this is Everett, Everett's Watercolors. This is Simply Drawing with Everett, and today we're going to do another drawing on this program, and it'll be released on YouTube on Thursday. Today I'm going to do a drawing of a waterfall, and they're a little bit, sometimes they're complex and so forth, but they're a lot of fun to work with. And so let me get over to my drawing table and let me get started. We're going to draw a waterfall. So get some paper and pencil along and follow along with me. Close up. Okay, over here is my reference photograph. You can see here a nice big tumbling waterfall. You see the water falling down the rocks and so forth. And there's some trees on the side, over here, and on the left there's a big rock cliff on this side here. So that's what I'm going to be drawing today: is the rocks and a little bit of trees over here. And the main thing is the waterfall coming down the center. Okay, I've got a 2B pencil here with a piece of sketch paper, 8.5 by 11. So that's all we need, just a paper and a piece of, this is probably the most economical way to do art, is to just have a pencil and paper, and you can do anything. So here we'll just do a little simple drawing. So I'm going to start out here at the top. Well, I'm going to do an outline. I'm going to just do an outline drawing. Get up here, do the top of this. Start out here at the top. Think up a little higher maybe on the paper. Start at the top of the waterfall. As I come down, I'm going to build the edge over here. So the edge of this rock over here, build that shape over here. Okay, and on this side is a tree line on this side. So we'll just put some trees in there, just indicate some trees. Okay, and then we're going to come down the side. Now I'm going to start with outline the edge of the waterfall with the rock here on the right, rock cliff here on the left. So I'm going to kind of contour draw this shape here. Just falling down. It's a rough edge, so you don't have a straight line. It has different curves and angles and so forth. But basically, it's straight down, and then it curves down here at the bottom, and then it also comes back out. Now it's this bottom rock here at the bottom. Okay, so that's the left side of the waterfall over here. This rock face of a cliff. And on the right side, we got this tree line, and so we'll come down here and we're going to kind of sketch in roughly. There's a little bit of rock over here on the side here. So this is like a rock face over here with a tree, with the trees growing on top of it. So it's kind of a combination of rock and trees on this side. So I'm going to come down here and kind of bring in this edge of this rock face over here. See, that'll define the right side of the waterfall, or at least a portion of it. And this part here moves out, then it curves in, and it comes down this kind of straight down here just before this section here. Then it starts to curve in a little bit. So a little contour drawing here, just following the contour of what you see. Then it goes a little edge of the tree or foliage here, the bushes or so forth. And it comes across the top. And that comes on down to the bottom. And this side here, we can finish this off over here. This kind of comes down here, and there's a kind of a rock formation here. The water is coming over the rocks there, and then it kind of spreads out to the side. This side, so we'll put that in there. Okay. Now before we leave that, let's make a couple. Let's make a couple define this rock here. Let's go back to the. This is kind of like a rock. I'm going to break this edge up over here just a little bit. This comes down, and come here is another shape in here of the rocks on the side. Make them a little bit different, each one. Come a little bit of rock there, and this one here goes down. It's kind of a slant here. Okay, that's enough definition on that side. Over here, we have some rock formation here, possibly here. So if we come across here, this tree line will come around, and there's an opening here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then it comes down here to this point. And then this, there's a little section in here that comes out. There's an opening here. It'll kind of indicate there's more than just a tree over there. There's kind of a cliff. And there's a little space down here at the bottom. Just a section. It'll kind of indicate that. So that's kind of the outline now of the sidelines and so forth. Kind of peripheral equipment. Tree line, we won't worry about the trees at the top just now. Now we get inside the waterfall. And I think we start out with this shape up here. And it's like almost a triangle. So we come down, kind of build that shape in. It's like a triangle. So just make a little mark like that. And then there's a water shape here. And it has a large section here. There's water coming on this side. And this one starts to curve now in this section. It comes down and it starts to drop straight down. And then it goes down here a little bit. So this kind of curves over. Okay, so that kind of there's a water going on a second. Now there's a section in here now. So there's another shape here. And we start with this triangle. Right below that, there's a shape, a rock shape in here. We'll put that in. And then it has another triangle in here of rock in there. And then this comes down in a curve. This continues on in a curve. And it kind of angles out to the side over here. And then there's another shape down here. Another triangular shape. And this kind of comes together down here at the bottom here. It kind of comes together, some kind of shape like that. Okay. All right. Now we got that in. Now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting some shading in now. Got it pretty well worked out. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and start putting in some of the rock over here. I'm going to go ahead and put in this edge over here. We can define. And what I do here is I try different angles for these rock faces. So that's kind of like an angle. This is kind of straight up and down right there, and this one kind of goes horizontally. So I'll give each one of them a little characteristic of the shape. This one here can come, this I got an angle here going this way, and it comes down again, and it starts to slant. This one's got a slant to it, this one's section here. Erase that a little bit, okay. And then we just continue on with some of these marks. I just These are all rocks over here with different angles, different shapes. But we're not gonna draw rocks today. We're just getting an indication of rocks. But by putting in different angles, it'll give you an indication of different faces of rocks. Get those angles going different directions. Now this little section in here now, we'll fill in these we'll shade in some of these areas that are rocks showing through the water. And this is partially up here now, this kind of light here. And this is a little bit darker down here. There's this section in here. It's got a shape in it. Okay, now we're starting to build the color around. There's streaks here. This is interesting. These are streaks coming down. space here gets shadowed in. There's this large area here that's darkened, this section in here. So we'll put that dark shape in. This dark shape right here. Down to there. We'll build around this shape here. This is all in shadow. The rocks behind. So I'm just blocking in the shadow patterns here, the dark areas. And you know, they're not exactly the same. They just, you make them similar. It's just a, you can always change the shape a little bit to make it a little more meaningful. Okay. Now this section over here now, these are all in shadow. This has got a big section up here. And I'm going to create this to be like water coming down on the side over here. I think it'll make it more interesting. Around here, this will drag down. There's water coming around this section. And I'm going to make this a coming down this edge here. This is all in shadow here. And it gets a little wider here as I come down. And we start getting into this rock face over here. Okay. This is part of that rock that's inside behind this tree mass. And up here I can just add some vertical story. These are the trees at the top of the. They're vertical shapes. They're trees at the top of the waterfall up there. Okay, this will all be shaded in over here. Then we come down here and we got this section here is going to be shaded in. There's a little section back here. There's some of that rock that's showing through the tree line. Just kind of put that in a little bit down here, kind of indicating where the lights and darks are. There's a section over here that goes up. These are rocks behind this trees and bushes or whatever on the side of this mountain over on this rocks over here. Okay. All right, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to change this form just a little bit right here. I'm going to make this waterfall come down this way, and I'm going to modify this section in here slightly, and I'm going to put some little rocks here in the stream bed. Little stream along here. The waterfalls finally hit the bottom here. So these are rocks that are in the stream at the bottom of the waterfall. These are little rocks that are in the stream bed. Just make irregular shapes of rock shapes, irregular shapes. Some are underwater, some are sticking out. And I can color those in a little bit. Shade those in. Okay, so I've got the basic form. Now as far as that goes. Now I'm going to leave the white paper alone for right now. That's the water. And the next step I do is I go into the tree mass here. And what I do when I do this, I'm going to take the 4B pencil, and this is all limbs and all trees. I just do little squiggly marks, little circles. This is kind of like random sketching here, like a freehand sketch. This is just like doodling. You just doodling in little shapes, and this would indicate that these are leaves, different shapes. I'm not going to draw on each leaf. That would be not necessary. just indicating that there's some kind of texture over here that's different from the water and the rocks. So we got rock, which is dark. We got water, which is white. And we got this calligraphy over here, which is little circles and doodles, which is going to be leaves. Those are the three elements we have here in the drawing. Okay, I hope you're all going along with this. I think this is pretty straightforward. You have a good reference to it, and then you just pick out those elements that you see, and then draw symbols of what they mean. Here, this is a symbol for the leaves and the trees and bushes on the side, different from the rocks. Just make little circles. I'm making little calligraphy. This is more up here. I don't have to spend a lot of time. I just want to indicate here, just to give you a demonstration of how I would draw this particular subject, waterfall, and also add the elements that go along with it. There'll be trees, there'll be rocks, and water. Okay, let's go back now. Let's shade in. Let's really shade in the dark area. These are the dark areas. I'm going to use the shader, the blender, which smooths out the pencil marks a little bit, makes them a little bit smoother. Kind of integrate those. And over here, I'm going to go ahead and just put this all together. Over here on the side. So as I blend this out, these marks will all kind of merge together a little bit. There'll still be some definition there, but basically just merging that pencil mark together. And over here, I'm going to merge the this background mountain. It's a little rock face over here, a little rock part of the mountain or rock cliff over here behind these trees and so forth. Some rocks poking through the limbs there. Okay, I just do maybe kind of combine this shape up here a little bit. Okay, now what I want to do now is I want to take. I'm going to take this is called a Fuda pen, which is a bent nib. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to emphasize the edges. So I'm going to take this fountain pen, which has got black ink in it, and I'm really going to make the edge really show out, because that's the important part of this drawing, is the edges here that show up next to this waterfall. So this edge here comes down. I'll make it sharp here. Now the edge up here on the top, I'm going to continue up here. The rock continues on up, okay? All right, that's it. Now this edge over here, I want to just to indicate a little bit of the top of this. There'll be water coming over that area there, which are rocks and so forth up there, and it's going to come down, spill down along the side. This is partially that rock face over here, and some of it is foliage, branches and trees and so forth, and so this rock face down here is going to come down, and right along the edge here. That's part of that rock, and then it comes in. This edge now becomes the tree again, or bushes on the side. We'll put those in. So I want to define, and I can do these also. Just kind of put the edge of the tree in shape here just a little bit more, indicating that there's another rough edge. Indicate that it's different from rocks. Okay. All right, starting to look pretty good. The last thing I can do, I guess, is I'm going to take my. Now this is that ink pen. It's really a water pen, a water brush with ink in it, and I can go ahead and do a little more shading now with this. This has got water and ink inside this water brush. I'm going to darken up now the shadows inside the wave, or inside the. I keep calling it wave because I did waves last week, so. And I did crashing. This is almost like a crashing wave coming in over the rocks. It's the same idea, except we're crossing over rocks at this time and mountains. So I'm darkening up a little bit of this shadow pattern here of the rocks and so forth to emphasize those, and get that shape. These are rocks underneath the water here a little bit, where that water is coming over the edge of that area. Now down here, what I can do is put little indications now of maybe a little shadow down here at this section, because we're getting a little further away. The light source of light's up there, so down here at the bottom of the wave, bottom of the fall. We're going to see splash, and we're going to see a little more shadow down here because it's not in direct sunlight. It's got some sunlight down here, but it's less than the top. So just a light shading here of this. A little bit of ink and water mixture. Okay. Okay, I think what I'll do is also, I'll darken these rocks down here. The rocks in the stream. Darken them up a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, well that's what I pretty well got the definition there, what I wanted. Remember I started with an outline of the edges of the rock, and the edge of the tree area, tree bushes or whatever, and then there's a mountain. There's also a ledge or mountain or rock along this side with trees. Okay, now I got that in. I got the basic outline. Then I went in and got the shadow off of the rock, or the rock faces inside the water falling down. I went in and I got those shapes in. I got the water coming down, and then I continued the stream on down here at the bottom. Okay. And then I'll take this one here and I'll build up a little more of that side edge, okay? And then I highlighted the edges with the ink pen. Okay? And let's put a mat board around that. I think that'll give it a little more. Let's take the paper out a little bit. Put it down here on the drawing board. There, and then we'll put a little mat board around it. Yeah. Okay. All right. You put this black and white. This is a black border around the black and white drawing, and we got a decent there. Now a little more polish here. You can a little more definition maybe on the trees. A little more marks in there. A little more shading of the water coming down. But we basically got the ingredients here of the waterfall that's falling down the mountain. Okay? Got that flow coming down over the rocks with rocks on the side. Okay? And we can always add a little more value to that. And I did one earlier. Let me show you that one. That might be worth taking a look at also. And this one I took a little more time on. Not much more time, but I went in and covered in some of it a little bit darker. This is the one I did earlier. Now you can see there a little more contrast. I had a little more dark here of the mountain over on this side. I built up the texture on the rock face over here. So that's one I did a little earlier, but it's the same techniques. Just little circles and squiggles over on the water, and then just different rock faces on the rocks. And it turned out very good. Okay, that's into my lesson today on drawing a waterfall. So let's go back to the main camera. All right. I hope you had fun today. Drawing rocks is one thing, and then drawing water is one thing, but putting rocks and water together, in this case, a waterfall, is very interesting. And again, it always starts with good references. If you're looking at a waterfall and can draw it on location, that's fine. But take pictures there so you'll have something to refer back to make a little more details you might have missed. Or get some pictures on the internet you can find or whatever. In magazines, there are all kinds of pictures of waterfalls. It's a favorite subject for a lot of people. People love to see waterfalls and be around them. So go take a walk in the woods and see a waterfall. Beautiful, beautiful down the stream. So until next week, I'll be back on Thursday with another drawing, Simply Drawing with Everett. You can join me then on next Thursday. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll be notified of the video. And you can make comments on this to show me what you like. And give me a thumbs up and a like. I really appreciate it. And please subscribe and share it with your friends. Let them know that I'm out here on Thursday with Simply Drawing with Everett. I also do a watercolor demonstration with Everett's Watercolors a little bit earlier. And then on the weekends I do Anyone Can Draw with One Line Only. So I got 3 videos going out every week. And there's will be more. I get over 850 videos on my YouTube channel. And you can go to Everett's Watercolors on YouTube, and you can see all those videos. Okay, well, you can go out there and do some drawing, and so you should stay safe and stay warm. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.